All right, out here at Miss Vondrica Alexander's property off of Keeman Drive in Baker, Louisiana. I don't have the claim number pulled up, but real quick, just doing an overview as far as what we're looking at. Original coverage was for about 3 shingles underneath this tarp here on this front slope alone. Sat there for a good amount of months, and then we were able to provide a shingle sample to prove that this is a discontinued Atlas shingle, which got this entire slope covered, as well as this left entire slope covered. It didn't include the hip and ridge capping on that initial coverage, but we've gotten that changed since. We were able to come over and show that this slope here ties in to this slope here through the valley, open coverage on this slope, but the hip and ridge cap coverage stopped here for some reason. Based on my understanding, it doesn't go all the way up. I didn't see any inclusion of this new ridge vent that was added in, which that's supposed to be there, because how are we supposed to replace the slope when the nails, go through? We can't just cut those shingles there, right? Carrying up, another issue with this slope being covered and not the others. These nails here that hold down the ridge vent straddles on one side to the other, and then underneath as well, if we can find one, you got a bigger nail about that size through both sides. That's how this thing stays down. If we come over here a little bit, you'll be able to see, and come to the edge. The shingle was already chipped away a little bit, so peeled it back. As I assumed with this hip and ridge cap shingle, as well as this top row shingle here on the slope that we do have coverage for, there's a supporting nail here, as well as one on this other side here, carrying down. So that's further supporting coverage for this full right slope. As we go down to see how this slope is directly related to the left slope, which we have coverage for. This edge metal here is one continuous piece from this left slope over into the right, and you can see there was a nail in there to support that. Okay, carrying down this shingle, not only to mention that the hip and ridge cap here connects this right slope, which should have open coverage for, same thing going all the way down, but this shingle here is matted to this cap shingle on this front section, let alone mentioning the fact that every one of these hip and ridge cap shingles does have to get nailed in somewhere. And this is just one example. You can see the nail right back in there. There'd be a nail here, as well as a nail here to straddle both of those sides. We can't reuse these nails. The nail hole, that's gonna cause a high risk for a leak. The fact that we've gotten hip and ridge cap coverage and we've gotten slope coverage over there without the inclusion of the fact that we need a minimum of a 6-inch overlap from slope to slope with that new felt paper, which would carry it to at least about here, which would interfere with the nail lines of this second row of shingles here. So we got a lot going on, and a lot is not being addressed. As you can tell, the weather's getting ready to act up again. Miss Alexander's had this tarp replaced now twice, and still not seen a full coverage decision being overturned. Once again, this is for Vondrica Alexander's claim off of Keeman Drive in Baker, Louisiana.